Oregon halts the sale of marijuana pesticides due to labeling problems, and South Dakota's full House of Representatives votes to legalize hemp. Whatever happened to predictability? This is the Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. We are a 5-day-a-week cannabis education show. You can hear us on KNSJ 89.1, KSFR, K-Boom, So Faking Radio. And we're here. We're having a great time. 760-798-3127. I'm your host, Medicinal Mike, here with the Nug News correspondent, Benji Cooper.
How's it going, Mike?
Doing fantastic. I feel good.
Yeah?
You know what? The 2 hours, we've now taken our Tuesday. That would have been a 2-hour Tuesday, and the rest of the days are one. And we're doing 1 hour and taking one of the other days and capping it on the Tuesday.
It's a little refreshing.
I'm refreshed. I feel great. I feel great. Got here like 4 minutes ago. Wow. We have a great show today. Today's show we have from the Lupus Project, thelupusproject.com if you want to learn more. And then there's an event on February 20th that I'll be emceeing at called the Lupus Project. And it's going to be in Los Angeles. And we have Matt Williams. He's the event coordinator. He's going to be talking to us about the event and what they're aiming to do. It's actually like they're getting a bunch of lupus organizations, and they've all kind of pulled together to make one big awareness.
Okay.
It's not a marijuana event, so please don't come out there thinking you're going to show up at a High Times Cup or anything like that just because I'm there. I have a life outside of cannabis.
Believe it or not.
I am there also to promote that, cannabis is one of the best treatment methods, in my opinion, that you can use, and, in doctors' opinions and stuff. For most diseases or illnesses, especially lupus. So we're going to have Matt on. He's going to tell us more. We're going to have a nice young artist named Kevin Green who does I like him because I got the music he sent in was a remake of Californication. Oh, okay. And I'm a super fan of anything remade that originally came out horrible.
Yes.
So
that song would be a great opportunity.
Shout out yesterday to the whole Ghostface Killer crew, Mike Lynch Solo, Dr. Zodiac, Aloha Mike, Dr. Josh. What did you think of Dr. Josh?
Very intelligent guy.
Smart dude, man. Yeah. So we're going to try and have more Dr. Josh. I want to get Dr. Josh in just as much as we can. He's anxious to get in here and start giving cannabis awareness. So we're going to start that up next week and see how it goes.
Can't have too much knowledge, right?
Cannot have too much knowledge. Can have just enough knowledge.
Yes.
760-798-3127. That is the number of the show. Sometimes we leave the voicemails on. Sometimes we don't because it's not us, and we don't know how to turn it off.
No, that's one of those areas where too much knowledge is a good thing.
No, right. We have not enough knowledge. So I was happy to announce yesterday we had the Woo guys in that you're going to see Woo putting out CBD products, courtesy of the Medicinal Mike smile on them. CBD being used as a come-down product because I initially was so against come-down products. I was like, what? They're trying to take my highway?
Buzzkill.
Until I had a lovely young lady come over to my house and try dabs for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't tell anybody she'd ever done dabs before or that she hadn't done dabs before. She got her, she's an older woman. She's like, she does roller derby. She's a tough chick. You would never expect anything sideways. She got her 2 kids there. They're like 19 and 18. They're adults. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to show off a little. And she medicates off the bong. Medicate and bong in the same sentence. Right. She medicates off the bong that I have in the room, and you just see her. She gets up real quick, and she's like, oh, this is going to be weird for my day, as she exhales. And then not 2 minutes later, I go out there, and my girl comes up, and she's like, hey, you need to go help your friend. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's sitting on the chair, melted into herself into like a ball. And she's not moving, like she's not like unresponsive, not moving, but like, leave me alone. I'm going to be in this ball. I can't talk anymore. She's like,
wow.
Her kid had to help her. She started puking on the floor, puking on her kid. That was hysterical.
Oh, my gosh.
That was hysterical. I was laughing. I was like, you got to get her out. So we kind of tried to help her outside. And she was puking out there on her hands and knees, all from one dab.
What's that like?
I don't know. I don't get that medicated level. You got to have a 0 THC. I mean, such a low one to take in that much THC at once, the CBD, CBN, and everything. That much cannabinoids, I think is a better word.
Right.
At once, that it just really knocks you off your rocker. I've heard about this happening to people. I've never seen it.
No, me neither.
She was obviously, of course, she was fine an hour later and wrote me a big "F-U" Medi text. But now, had we had some of these CBD come down products that I'm going to be making with the Speakeasy 710 guys, she would have been fine.
Yeah.
She could have been fine. My carpet would still look great. I wouldn't have no weird stain that, it's like I don't lay on the carpet anymore. So we're going to have a cool syrup I'm working on and a cool pen that you can get CBD out of.
Is there, I don't know of anything else, any other kind of thing like that, I guess a vice you would call it, any kind of thing that changes your state of mind that has something that will counteract it like that. You see people that are drunk, you try to give them coffee, and that doesn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, the only thing for alcohol is time.
Time, yeah.
There is nothing that you can play the yin-yang for. And it's not that it doesn't nullify the effects as much as it gives you a mass amount of focus and a level, like a level-headedness. Right. So you are more intense. You know what you want now. You're not floating around or feeling all the excessive anti-inflammation's kicking in to where you turn into a puddle of yourself.
Like the anxiety with high levels of THC is a very real thing. I've experienced that at least a couple times in my life. That would have been a nice time to actually have a product like that.
Now, if you had it bad, the worst I've had is you feel like the phone might be ringing or somebody, like anybody, if I've smoked, my brother would sit there and he would knock on the wall, the table. It did not matter. And I always knew it was him doing it, but I would get up and answer the door every single time. I'd be like, gosh, dang it, Eddie, and I got to get up and answer the door.
Right.
And that's from the paranoia.
Yeah, it's like a severe panic attack was what happened. It was one time with an edible. It was really stronger than what I was used to. This was a few years ago, and I wasn't used to the strength that this thing was. And me and some friends went on a bike ride, and right during the middle, it hit.
What do you think? Worst case scenario?
I knew I'd be fine. It's just I was extremely mentally uncomfortable, so we had to find a little place to kind of sit and chill for a little while.
You ruined a bike ride, and
no, we were cool.
Who's we? Was he tripping?
Oh, just me and a couple friends.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
so yeah,
you ruined the bike ride. They didn't. They wanted to ride their bikes. You were like, I got to sit by the rock and curl. Can somebody brush my hair, please?
They're the ones that gave me the edible in the first place.
They knew it was going to happen. So everybody had eaten an edible.
Right.
No, that sounds like a good time.
No, it was fun. I look back on it and laugh.
Never works like that with mushrooms.
No, that's a little bit different.
This is a Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. You can call us in anytime today. Again, we have a great show. We got Matt Williams from the Lupus Project. He's going to be on. We've got Kevin Green. Beautiful voice on this guy, too. Beautiful voice. He's not just a rapper. He's also a lyricist, singer. Just sounds great. And we're going to have a great show today.
Yeah.
If you are watching us, you're watching on nuglifetv.com. If you're not seeing it yet, that's because Hal's sick and just slacking, man.
Is that what's going on?
That's what's going on because we are like a week behind. If you're catching up and you're on the daily, it goes up to like the 3rd. And then I'm like, okay, where the hell are the rest of the videos? Turns out the guy who pushes the button has got like pneumonia.
Okay.
Right in his button pushing finger.
That big red button that uploads the video.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So we'll be putting descriptions in on them, and we're getting all that handled. So it'll be done by the end of the week. Again, we just launched the site, so pardon our dust. This is Nug Life Radio. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsors or some music, depending on where you're listening.
I'm seeing green, packing my ball. I'm starting up this hit here on Nug Life Radio. Don't you know Nug Life Radio?
Hey, this is Tommy Chong. You're listening to Nug Life Radio.
Welcome back to the Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. Israel legislature debates driving exemption for medical marijuana patients. So they're debating in Israel whether or not they're going to let people drive under the influence.
At all, because right now, medical marijuana users are prohibited from driving at all, and some have actually had their licenses revoked.
My goodness. And Israel is one of the leading places for cannabis therapies and medicine in the country.
Yeah.
Or in the country, in the world, excuse me. In the world, with a company called, it's called Heal the World, but I don't know how to translate it in Israeli. My Israeli's a little rusty.
Right.
I'd like to welcome to the show our first guest this evening from the Lupus Project. This man is the event coordinator for the lupusproject.com. And February 20th, they are throwing an event out in Los Angeles at the, I believe, the York building. Welcome to the show, Matt Williams. Matt, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, fantastic, sir. If you can, real quick, because I had to learn myself a few weeks ago, tell us, what is lupus?
Well, lupus is an autoimmune disease where the body's own immune system begins attacking itself. So instead of just defending against things in the body that are unhealthy, it actually begins attacking its own organs. And it can leave people debilitated in all different ranges. Some people need kidney transplants, some are bedridden. It can just be a really horrible disease that affects a lot of people, and that's kind of the gist of it.
Now, is there an age range that is more popular for contracting lupus, or is that just all ages, all walks of life, race, creeds?
Yeah, it really is all ages and walks of life. However, it does seem to target minorities. For instance, African Americans are 3 times more likely to get it, and it's about 90% higher in females. So it does tend to target those.
Now, is this an illness? Because lupus is something, especially over the last few weeks. As I started reading myself, I couldn't believe how many of my own friends were either had family that had lupus or, if not, had it themselves. How do you know if somebody has lupus? Like, what's the telltale signs?
Yeah, well, that's actually one of the most challenging things about it, is that it can be very, very difficult to diagnose, and some of the symptoms of it can be very similar to other autoimmune diseases. And a lot of times, rheumatologists will diagnose multiple autoimmune diseases in a person that has lupus as well. So, it can be kind of vague, but one of the most characteristic symptoms is called the butterfly rash, which is a rash that develops on the cheeks and it looks like the shape of a butterfly. But again, a lot of the other symptoms can also exist within other autoimmune conditions. So it's really up to a rheumatologist to diagnose it, and they do a lot of blood tests that kind of help them figure that out.
Now, is there a cure yet for lupus?
No, there's definitely no cure.
And is it like on the rise over the decades, or is there any variance in numbers?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a rise of actually all autoimmune conditions, and so it continues to be a challenge because there's no cure, and at this point the most common treatment for it is just a steroid that really just kind of manages the pain and suppresses the symptoms, but it doesn't really offer any substantial relief, and it certainly doesn't heal it.
So on February 20th, they're having the Lupus Project, which is an event out there in Los Angeles. Make sure you go on Facebook, put in the Lupus Project, or Instagram, or anywhere you can, and you will find all the information there, or the lupusproject.com. What is this event?
Yeah, so, one of the things that we've noticed is that, a lot of people with lupus, don't really know all the support that's available to them. And since this disease is not that well known, there's a lack of information out there to many people. But the reality is that there are actual organizations in place that are supporting the community. It's just that a lot of people don't know about them. So the whole idea behind the Lupus Project is to bring together all of the lupus organizations in Southern California for this event. Each of them will be represented with a booth, so they'll be handing out information, resources, so that attendees and people with lupus can actually find out everything that exists for them in their community. And we wanted to also, allow this to be a very educational event, so there's going to be keynote speakers featured throughout the entire event. We'll have support groups going on upstairs. and there'll be giveaways and raffles, and it'll be a lot of fun too.
And is this the first event like this that you guys have thrown over there?
This is the first annual Lupus Project, so we're excited about it and hope to do many more in the years coming.
Oh, that's fantastic. And how do people get a hold of you, or what's the best way to reach you? Or we broadcast in a lot of cities that aren't California. And again, for those that are listening to, if you decide to come out to the Los Angeles to the Lupus Project, this is not a cannabis event. This is an event to discuss alternative medicines and healings, and people that are open-minded to find anything that's going to help treat the symptoms of lupus.
Education.
Right.
Focus.
So, have respect and don't come out there like leave your bong at home.
Right.
Right.
Big cold.
Yeah,
That was
and,
for
and
Matt.
it-
I said
and
that.
Yeah, no, we're happy. We want the event to be open to everyone, and in addition to the different therapies and treatment options, like I said, all of the organizations that exist right now for lupus, that offer support to the communities, they're going to be there as well. So we really want to cover like all ends of the spectrum when it comes to what resources are available for lupus patients. So.
Are you able to give us one more time the address of it? Again, it's February 20th, and what time?
Yeah, it's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it's at a venue called the York Manor in Highland Park, which is right between downtown and Pasadena. And basically, like the event will it'll run for those 4 hours, and that's pretty much it.
Dress code?
Yes, only fine business attire.
There you go.
No, but it'll be very casual, very fun day.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious. I was like, well, I'm glad I asked. These are my professional flip-flops.
Way to deadpan.
Matt, thank you so much for taking the time out for the show. We appreciate you just spreading any kind of awareness. And we are all going to see you on the 20th at 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. at where's it at? The York building? One more time, I'm sorry.
The York Manor, and people can check out the website, which is just www.thelupusproject.com, and can actually register online for the free event.
Excellent. Matt, thank you very much, man.
Yes,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
You have a great day. That's Matt Williams with the lupusproject.com. The Lupus Project is the name of the event. You can go to the .com website to find out what's going on and how it goes there. I didn't want to get too much in because he's for all medicines,
Okay.
It's not for cannabis. I cannot implore that. I do other things that aren't pot related. And one is try to gain some awareness to help with lupus. Now I'm there to push cannabis therapy, and educate them on any questions they might have for, CBDs, cannabinoids.
Compassion and education are the common theme throughout this and other events.
Right, but this is a very respectable event, and it's something we're doing to kind of give back a little.
Right. Yeah,
and hopefully
definitely.
every year it comes out. But I mean, it's all the organizations in one. And if you're out there and you got any kind of a name to yourself, any kind of celebrity, you got more than 5,000 people on your Facebook or something, get out there and donate your time to something. Not everything you do has to be costing money. Give a little back. 5 days a year can mean the world to a lot of people.
Does make a difference.
Yeah, I'm like E-list celebrity. I mean, I'm way at the bottom. I'm just I have a funny comedian day every now and then. That's terrible. Lupus, you can tell too, some of the people where it has like discoloration. It'll look like vitiligo almost on the African Americans and on rednecks. It's a big blotchy red patches on the skin.
Okay,
and
I think I've seen that before.
It's the body is actually attacking itself. Just turning and attacking. There's all kinds of illnesses out there.
So treating organs like invaders.
Yeah.
That's so odd.
There's another one I just learned about too. Again, learning about lupus. I'm sitting there trying like, hey, I hear about it all the time. What exactly is it? And as I'm doing the research, I read about this little boy who has this illness. That cutest little kid too. He lives out in Georgia. They can't get any kind of cannabis.
I know what you're talking about.
And his skin is like it's
epidermolysis bullosa, and basically what happens is the the glue in between the layers of skin basically breaks down, and so there's nothing to hold it together.
So it's easily terrible. So
Yes.
he's constantly in pain, and the doctors want to just give him morphine. Like, just here, keep giving him morphine to the 3-year-old, 2 years old. But they are trying for cannabis therapy. I don't know if I should reach out. Like, that's the kind of thing where you're like, do I reach out and risk it? Because when it comes to the kids, I don't care. We do whatever we can.
That is a thing that cannabis is used to treat.
But are we just going to be like one of the 50 bazillion people sending joints in the mail to Georgia?
Well, it would be more along the lines of like topicals. Like
a Kilios.
That, and actually there's another brand that I found out at High Times is used for this condition. It's the Emu 420.
And what is the name of that condition?
Epidermolysis bullosa.
And then what does the CBD do? Do you know? Tells the skin to chill out.
I don't know all the hard scientific details, but the other, what's the guy in the wheelchair there? I'm trying to remember his name.
Is that what he has?
Yes, and apparently he's had a lot of success using the emu oil.
Really?
Yeah, so very promising.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's Miguel.
Yes, Miguel, yes.
Yeah, good to know. Phew. This is a Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. Again, big thanks to Matt Williams from the Lupus Project. We're discussing cannabis therapies. We're going to be back after these messages with your Nug News. You're going to find out what's going on in the world. We got Kevin Green coming in with some Californication. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back. NugLifeRadio.com, KNSJ.
I'm seeing green, packing my ball. I'm starting up this hit here on Nug Life Radio. Don't you know? Nug Life Radio.
Now, from around the world, around the country, around the corner, around and around and around we go. It's Nug Life Radio, Nug Knows with Benji.
Well, former federal judge Paul Cassell is asking President Obama to commute the sentence that he gave Utah music producer Weldon Angelos back in 2004. Angelos is the founder of Extravagant Records and was arrested after selling marijuana to a police informant on multiple occasions, worth a total of $350. The witness stated that Angelos had a firearm strapped to his body, but no photographic evidence exists other than testimony. A gun was never brandished or used. But because of a section in the federal code providing mandatory sentences for dealers who carry firearms during their transactions, Judge Cassell was required to sentence Angelos to a minimum of 55 to 63 years in prison, longer than people convicted of things like rape, kidnapping, and murder.
How long?
55 to 63 years. Cassell writes in his letter that when the sentence for actual violence is dwarfed by a sentence for carrying guns to drug deals, the implicit message to victims is that their pain and suffering counts for less than some abstract war on drugs. In 2013, more than 100 people petitioned the White House to commute Angelos' sentence, but including former FBI director, and prosecutor, and celebrities.
Really?
Yeah.
How come judges can just have the power to do whatever they want like that? Because that's what that is. That's not. There's no law that says that that's the sentence, 65 years.
Well, that's the mandatory minimum for this charge here, carrying the firearm to a drug deal. And he says his hands were tied. He didn't want to do it. That's why he's petitioning the president.
So the judge is also petitioning?
Yeah, he wrote him a letter, and he sent the letter to him, and he's just the latest among a list of people who have asked.
So what happens if the judge says, wow, that's insane. What happens if the judge says, I'm not going to do the minimum. I'm going to do whatever I want. How does he have to answer to that?
I don't know.
I would
job.
It's a government. It's an elected job.
I would imagine they'd put someone else in there who would follow the law, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, he's already been in there since 2004, so 12 years he's already served for. And the weed they said it only amounted to $350, and the fact that he had a gun on him at the time.
That's 1 ounce. That's what he's in for.
Yeah.
$350 in weed. That's an ounce of weed. That's
so
a high price too.
He'll be in his 70s by the time he gets out.
Over an ounce for
Yeah.
having a gun. Where did they find the weapon?
Well, like I said, there was no photographic evidence other than the testimony, and it was just the witness's testimony basically. So there was never actually any evidence that other than they did search his home, he had guns there, but as far as evidence of a gun being brandished or he had it on him, it was just the testimony of the witness.
Yeah, but isn't it up to the judge to decide whether the gun was there or not, or the jury in itself, or
Yeah.
so he does have some power in here.
But
Maybe you know what? I feel like maybe they're throwing him to the wolves to make an example so that they can get this law flipped.
possibly, but at the time he said he didn't want to.
Well, wait a minute.
sentence
He's
him.
been in there for 12 years,
Yeah.
so obviously this isn't a ruse.
Right.
He's stuck in there, and are they actively petitioning now to get him out?
That's what's going on right now. This judge, former judge, Paul Cassell, is trying. He wrote the letter to President Obama to commute his sentence. And like I said, back in 2013, there was more than 100 people that petitioned the White House, and it wasn't successful. So,
All right. What else you got in the news today?
Well, Oregon's marijuana task force is urging the state to use recreational marijuana tax money to supplement funding to the quasi-public Oregon Institute for Cannabis Research, where professional studies into the plant's medical and public health benefits can be conducted. The recommendation was included in a report submitted to the legislature on Monday and came out of a law passed last year that called for a government-appointed task force to study ways to support medical marijuana in the industry with patients in mind. The Oregon Health Authority says that this institute will position Oregon as a leader in cannabis research and serve as an international hub for what will be soon a rapidly accelerating scientific field. No other initiative can do as much to strengthen Oregon, the Oregon cannabis industry, and to support the needs of Oregon medical marijuana patients. Cost estimates to fund the institute were not included in the report, but it makes it clear that the state's financial support would be crucial.
Wow. Well, that's very important to put money back, especially when it comes to research. A lot of the gray area that we have with the laws right now are there because we don't know for sure on anything. I mean, we could sit there all day and go, cannabis cures cancer, but nobody knows for sure because nobody's put the money in and nobody has developed the proper amount of patients to test on. It's never over 200 people and all kinds of things. But now that they actually have a facility that can produce these tests and make these studies on their own, they can't be greedy with that money and just throw it around. And I don't mean greedy to schools. It's a horrible because they're using the money properly, but you have to put it back into the plant.
And currently, most of the evidence for cancer is anecdotal. There's been no real official studies except for anything government controlled, done by NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse.
NIDA.
Yeah. So any of the research that it has been done, and they did admit last year that there is cancer-killing properties to cannabis. But other than that, there really hasn't been, from what I know, from what I've heard, a whole lot of independent research on the subject.
Is anybody out there that's just cured of cancer? And what is it to be cured? Because if you're prone to cancer and the cancer's gone, cancer tends to come back sometimes. And that's not the same cancer regrowing. That's cured and you have cancer again, right?
I believe that's the case. But as far as people, Rick Simpson, didn't he cure his cancer with his oil?
I heard Rick Simpson cured hundreds of people's cancer, and that's why he was kicked out of the state.
Oh,
right, or kicked out of the city.
Is that how that went?
That's what I heard.
Oh, he was doing too well.
Yeah, and then they kicked him out because pharmaceuticals, people start to talk, and he starts to just, think, hey, I did this for myself, I can do this for other people, and then all of a sudden you're in a situation where pharmaceuticals are losing money and they're going, hey, doctor, how come you're not giving me with this guy over here? And they go, well, who the heck is this guy? And then this guy doesn't have much else that he's going to be doing that week.
Some guy preventing us from making more millions and billions of
right.
dollars.
Another Mark Scarelli out there. What else you got in the news, Benji?
Former IRS agent Paul Hurley will be going to trial this week over charges of soliciting and receiving a $20,000 bribe from a medical marijuana dispensary in Seattle. Prosecutors in the case allege that when Hurley audited the Have a Heart Compassion Care Dispensary last year, he told the owner, Ryan Kunkel, that he owed $290,000 on his taxes for 2013 and 2014, saying that it could have been worse and that he had saved him $1 million. Court documents allege that Hurley then suggested that in turn for the leniency, Kunkel should pay off his student loan over time. Fearing his audit would be held up, he initially agreed, but then changed his mind after a security guard urged him to talk to a lawyer. So, jury
Get out of here. Pay the kid's student loan.
Jury selection in the case was scheduled to begin Monday under District Court Judge John Kaufner. Bribery charges are punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Yeah, that guy's going.
Yeah.
He's going. That's IRS. They don't play around there. How many people do you think he's done that to? There are hundreds of co-op. Well, let's put it this way. There's probably 4 that are actually filing taxes. Oh, that's insane. So,
well, he knows that he did it because he had a statement after he got caught and he was ashamed of himself. But in court, they're saying, he didn't do it. So
people always think that they're going to be saved if they go mellow right at the last minute. Like, oh, I got caught. Now I'm ashamed. No, you should have confessed. If you were ashamed, you would have confessed.
Yeah.
So, all right. Is that the news?
That's the news.
That's the news, courtesy of Benji Cooper right there. This is a Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. We're coming back up with Kevin Green. Check out his song right now. It's the Californication remix. And we'll see if I can do this properly because I'm doing it on my own.
There it is. Yeah.
Nug Life Radio.
619. I had to change my scene. From beach to beach, different beauty had to change it up. I had to change it up. My mind's made up and I ain't changing
and I ain't changing
it's my chance at a shot it, I ain't gonna pass it up. Patiently waiting on mine.
I'm still that Santa Barbara boy, I just thought I mentioned. Grew up in a rich town without a pot to piss in, until I set myself down with a proposition and threw my mixtape in to get pot's attention. Refer to myself in third person, got a lot of vision, and I ain't tripping right now. I seen it from a distance. I heard a killer be killed. Now that's a big decision. I'd rather kill on these tracks and make a decent living. But now I'm trying to give back, feeding knowledge to children. But not everybody can eat in the smallest of buildings, and not every human on earth finds college appealing. That's why some choose dealing and mobbing and killing. Yes, and good friends turn to enemies. The good die young, ain't that what happened to the Kennedys? Was you fucking him and one of you fuckers is into me? Now you got me mad, making me use negative energy. But I think to myself, I really hope not. Kill myself every day because I love to smoke pot. No pun intended, you just talking, you don't know pot. 32 South Salinas was looking like the dope spot.
Barbara, coasting, riding by the ocean on my way to San Diego. I had to change my scene. From beach to beach, different beauty, had to change it up. But my mind's made up and I ain't changing up. This my chance at a shot it, I ain't gonna pass it up. Patiently waiting on mine, I'll be alright.
I've been in Dago for a minute, it's my second home. I made a couple places in Cali my stepping stone. I rarely left Parkway Drive without my weapon on. Had a couple things on my conscience that I was stressing on. But no, that's some shit as we get old, get left alone. Like when you get that first bill in the mail and regret being grown. Everybody go through that shit. Am I right or wrong? I'm glad I went through so much shit young. It helped me write these songs, and yeah, life really is what we make of it. If you hang out with broke people, then you wind up not making shit. Everybody put their 2 cents in, but it don't go to rent. And when they do that shit, I just don't listen, cause it makes no sense. But in the end, we are humans and we got opinions. And every broke person main focus is to get $1 million. It's not gonna fall in your palm. Sounds silly, huh? Boy George, I'll never change. Chameleon.
Barbara, coasting, riding by the ocean on my way to San Diego. I had to change my scene. From beach to beach, different beauty, had to change it up. But my mind's made up and I ain't changing up. This my chance at a shot it, I ain't gonna pass it up. Patiently waiting on mine, I'll be alright.
Welcome back to the Nug Life Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. That was Kevin Green. You're listening to 760-798-3127, a medicinal Mike, cannabis comedian, radio guy, and I do a bunch of other crap. Here with Benji Cooper, the Nug News correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a caller on the line. Let's take that. 760-798-3127. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up?
Goodbye.
That was weird.
Hi, what's up?
Hey, there you go. How you doing? Who's this?
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Oh, how's it going
How's
today,
it going?
brother? Doing awesome.
It's
About to
going
get some.
good.
Did you like that song we just heard, the Californication?
Yeah.
That was
It
bad.
sounded cool.
That was Kevin Green. We got Kevin Green in the studio. He just learned that microphones need buttons. But don't worry, we fixed it. Andrew, you want to give shout-outs to anybody?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my girlfriend and my son, and we're out here barbecuing over in Fresno, Cali.
You got a girlfriend?
Having
Did
a
you have a
good time.
girlfriend yesterday, Andrew?
I've had a girlfriend, but I just don't talk about her.
Bringing her in.
We've been there before.
Right.
That's
Andrew,
funny.
we love you, man. Thanks for calling in the
I love you
show. I
guys,
don't want to cut you
too.
short. I got to get over to Kevin here. But
It's cool. I enjoy you guys' show. I was listening to it, and then before that, I was listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I was kind of like in the rock mood, you know what I'm saying? And today's actually Ash Wednesday, so smoke all the hash that you guys can, and I love you guys.
oh, give it
Take
up
care.
for Hash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that a Catholic thing?
I think it's an everybody thing now.
Welcome to the
Hash
Nug Life
Wednesday.
Radio Show. Kevin Green. Kevin Green was the musician that did. I won't even say rapper, musician, because you're doing more than just rap. You're actually singing. You're doing lyrics. You got rhythm. You got all kinds of like a total package. Hi, Kevin. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm blessed. I'm doing perfect, you know, just chilling.
How long have you been doing music professionally?
Man, I barely started taking it serious. One of my good boys, one of my best friends, my boy White Nasty got me into it. So about a couple years now, I've been doing it
don't
a
worry
couple
about
years.
that. That's
so.
just my phone acting up on me.
hey, he's playing my songs.
I
on
was
his
gonna
phone.
say, I
That's
think it's
good.
actually playing your music, so that kind of worked out well.
Hey, that worked out good. He's showing off for me.
Yeah, and it's just my phone's going chaotic right there. And my phone is a huge fan of Kevin Green. So if you ever get like 4 a.m. weird naked Instagrams which you're tagged in it and you know, that's not me. It's the phone.
It happens. It happens.
How can they find you? Where do people hear your music?
Man, look me up, Pot1 on SoundCloud.com. Type in Pot1, all caps, POT, number 1 at the end. You can follow me on Instagram, Hippie Boy. That's always a good name to go by.
You got that super hippie vibe. Are you like born and raised San Diego?
No, actually, I'm from Santa Barbara, California. I've been out here, moved out here when I was
Just like
13.
northern San Diego.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. It's the best part of us. It's the best part of California you can be besides San Diego.
Are you wearing flip-flops right now?
Oh, I would have had some on, but I had to put on some nice shoes. I thought you might stare at my feet.
No,
Can't
that's
even see
nice.
'em.
All right, now is it just one style? Do you do this style of music, or are you kind of like the? Now I'm not from California, so the hippie generation is very new to me for the last 5 to 7 years. I've lived in Vegas, and we didn't have that. It's too hot.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
People
but
are too
that's
angry.
That's the perfect time to be a hippie because you can put on some shorts, a tank top, and some tie-dye flip-flops, and you're perfect.
Well,
man.
what does it mean? Here's a good question. What does it mean today? Now, back in the 70s when we had hippies, like, you know, the traditional hippies, Chong, when in his heyday, it was, you know, there was a war going on, and, you know, they were preaching against that, and love and free love and lots of free sex. It was awesome. I'm sure I heard I was born in the 70s, so I know my parents enjoyed it.
Byproduct.
What is it today to be a hippie, you know? Or what do they call them? What is it, like a grunge?
Well,
what
no
do we
grudge,
call
but today is like I say myself as a hippie is just I just hang out, man, real mellow type of guy. You know, if I wake up that morning, it's the best day of my life. Every day that I get to open my eyes, I'm cool. You know, usually don't have too much problems. Don't let nothing get under my skin. I just go with the flow, man. You know,
So it's more like a modern day Rastafari mixed with like all the Buddhist mixed with kind of it's living by your heart. I guess is the
Exactly,
best way to
by
do
your
it.
heart and
Living
being
by your
different,
heart.
Good way
you
to
know,
put it.
and it's hard to just describe, you know, because it's like your own different person. You're just doing your own thing.
You do.
and
You,
just
you have
being
a,
yourself.
and you have a
man,
lot
so.
of people in this world that the head and the heart are the two, you know. And your head will always say, "Oh, I can't do this. I have to." Work tomorrow. I can't take the kids to Disneyland. I don't want to go give this guy a hug or something. He might punch me in the nose or whatever it is. And when you lead with your heart and you see like somebody in need, the first thing you do is you help. You see somebody who wants, you give,
Oh, yeah.
So that's, yeah. I'm not doing that. I live in my head. No, I'm just teasing. I'm like I don't know what the heck I am. I'm a 90s product from hair gel and
Damn, just everything different, huh?
yeah, but I love I love and embrace the new, especially in California, that new attitude, that way of life that you guys have, and it knows no color, race, creed, religion. It's just a big. What do they call it?
A
melting
happy
pot?
family.
Lilo and Stitch, and they're all, Ohanu.
Exactly.
A melting
That's exactly
pot.
how it is.
Nobody gets left behind. Are there any other songs that you're covering over that are popular, like Californication? I personally am a big fan of that style.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple more on the way right now. I'm working with a couple good jams. I'm a huge fan, big inspired by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
Nice.
I go with a lot of stuff that they do. I'm a big fan of the Beatles as well. So all different type of
Yes.
music. I just like anything that's good music. I really like, and I give it a chance. And
If you could take that Hello song from Adele and do anything with that, we would appreciate it, just from all men in the world. Anything just to pick the beat up. I don't mind that I got to watch my girl cry every hour.
Every time the song plays.
Right. Hello.
we were yelling in traffic the whole way, so there's no way I can hit a high note right now.
Right. You guys drove. Yeah, you guys drove right through. How are you? What kind of musical training do you have?
I did it basically. I had a couple partners who helped me out, and my boy Alpine Mizzy, man, a good guy in Alpine. He hooked up a couple.
Friend of White Nasty.
Oh yeah, friend of everybody. Just this guy. He actually makes beer right now. So he's a good brewer right now in San Diego, but he's at Alpine, real
That's
good
what
guy.
I'm talking about, man. Back in Vegas, didn't nobody make their own beer? No, because we were making meth. It was a trailer park.
Well, you're in the microbrew capital of the U.S.
What is that? So
San
that's
Diego.
everybody is out here making their own beer.
Pretty much.
But not everybody makes good beer. This guy,
True.
This guy will make a good IPA, man, and he'll have you laying with your cat for like 2 days.
Can you make beer in any flavor?
You can try, some just don't work out.
You
It's
can
just
try.
like life, man.
Or like snow cone beer or something that tastes good, because beer tastes like crap. Like I like Bud Light. But
Oh, no, that's-
see now
that's
for
not
beer
cool.
drinkers,
Calling
hate
that beer.
that's what they say. It's like pee or
Water.
water mixed with pee.
I know that's the only water I really drink. But if you're trying to have a good beer, if you don't like beer, Belching Beaver Peanut Butter Stout, man, give that a
I've
shot.
had that. I had that at that. What's the beer place?
Belching Beaver.
Okay.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah. Well, they're too strong in the mouth. It's all.
Some of the stouts are actually really nice. They're like more like, some of them are more like coffee in a way.
You get man points. Like the darker your beer, the more manly you are. Like if you can stomach a homemade Guinness, like your friend made it, and he threw his own licorice in there or whatever they're using to make that.
Sean.
Yeah,
our engineer.
Sean, our engineer,
He
drinks
brews good beer.
Wow.
another. I know so many people that make beer. I have friends that grow pot.
That's always
We
good,
should get
too.
together.
Yeah, for sure. Beer and pot and a party and good music, you'll live forever.
It's on.
So where does Kevin Green going to be? The 5-year plan for Kevin Green.
Man, it's just to keep making music, making people happy wherever it takes me. It's wherever God's plan takes me,
Right.
and we make it. Whatever I make of myself. What I want to be doing is doing bigger shows. I get a lot of shows that I'm blessed to have now and just chill with. So and it makes me happy because it's a lot of family, close friends, and everybody who shows support is like really cool to me. So
And then you're going to be out at the 215 show at Seedless.
I'll be there.
At the Ocean Beach in the compound. It's a fundraiser for the Americans for Safe Access. A lot of great bands sending their
fun day.
time down, and we get to hear Kevin up on stage and realize it's like stage is such a strong word.
Yeah.
Stage is a strong word. 6-foot skate ramp that has been converted right?
Yeah.
Right? You got to climb up. You go. Well, no. You go up the half pipe.
Yes,
That's where you get to the radio broadcast part of the area, and
Right.
then you go up to like the rooftop kind of area, and that's where the stage is.
And the whole time you're doing this, laser is shooting tennis balls at you with this big cannon from behind a glass shield.
I'm excited. I'm excited. This sounds like my type of party.
It'd be awesome.
Cannabis American Gladiators, the Canna Gladiators. I don't know. You remember the Gladiators, right? Thank you. TV's
American
Mark Francis.
Ganjanators.
And
TV Marks Francis, big shout out, man.
He gets
Good
around
guy.
everywhere, doesn't he?
Oh man, I seen this guy on accident sometimes.
Everywhere. You're like, whoa, what are you doing here? My wife is having a child. He's like, I'm the doctor. You're like, you're a doctor. Didn't I just smoke with you 10 minutes ago?
That's funny. That's how he is too. He just pops up out the blue on you, man.
Yeah. I had a friend do that. That was a dentist. Mark's actually met him before at the Jumping Turtle, but my buddy Nate, I didn't know he was a dentist, and we were medicating out back and having a good time. I knew he worked there, or he's the assistant. Well, the dentist comes up, they got my mouth open. The girl is fumbling with the instruments. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing, and I can tell. And I says, "Is this her first day?" And they say, "Yes." I go, "I don't want her." So I'm sitting there, my mouth's jacked open. I look up, and there's Nate. He's the ring, like, "Hey, bro." I'm like, "This is the replacement."
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have a wisdom tooth now. I went in for a filling. Kevin, how can people find you? How can they be a bigger part of your life? Listen to your music.
Oh man, like I said, Snapchat is one huge thing to me.
Are people following each other? How do you know what the hell's going on Snapchat?
Snapchat, you add who you
just
wanna
wait.
add.
You
might
wait.
see something weird on accident that might scare you, man. So you gotta be prepared.
What's going on your Snapchat? What's your Snapchat address?
Oh, Snapchat, man, Hippie Boy. HIPPYBOI.
Yeah, you got into Snapchat early if you got that one.
Oh, I had to. No, it was HIPPIE was taken. I took the easy way out. So I could be the only one.
So we can follow you on Snapchat. Do you have an Instagram?
Instagram as well.
It's like Snapchat, but slower.
And that's another Hippie Boy as well. You can get me on Instagram at Hippie Boy too. And then I have YouTube page, Pot One Entertainment. That's pretty good as well. And
your next show is going to be February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day at the Seedless Convention, at the Americans for Safe Assets Seedless 215 party on Bacon Street in Ocean Beach, California, and that's from 2 p.m. until forever. And we'll be there broadcasting live as we do every single year.
Absolutely.
Because it's awesome. Bring your own skateboard.
It's gonna be fun.
Kidding. You can't skate there. There's like booths.
There's booths in the way.
If you're good, you can.
You tricked me. I was like, I get to bring my skate, man.
I had a feeling.
If you're really good, yeah.
You can wear
Okay, well, I won't bring my skate then.
You can wear Heelys. Perfectly acceptable Heelys. Big thanks to Kevin Green today. Kevin Green, check out his music. It's on SoundCloud. Look up Californication, the remix. I love that song. Like, I've listened to it 100 times already. Which is weird because I hate the original. This is the Nug Life Radio Show, the only cannabis education show that's on 5 days a week. Big thanks to Matt Williams from the Lupus Project. They are doing a big show out in Los Angeles on the 20th of February. So make sure you go out there, support, curing lupus and anything to treat symptoms, especially cannabis therapy. But keep an open mind. Don't show up with bongs. It's not a freaking High Times event. Just because you see my name on a flyer doesn't mean it's a big weed convention. This is going to be for lupus. It's going to be a lot of old people. So be respectful and wear some nice clothes. He said it's all casual, but represent your community, man. Dress nice. This is the Nug Life Radio Show. I'm a distant mic here with Benji Cooper. Big thanks again. TV's Mark Francis in the house.
Shout out Smoking Joe with Vision Smoke Shop, man, my good buddy.
Vision gets more shout outs than anybody that we do. Vision Smoke Shop, they're almost an unofficial sponsor. Everybody here shouts out Vision Smoke Shop.
Hey, but I know the guy, so I know the
this guy knows everybody. This guy is very popular. Big shout out to him. Very popular.
Smoking Joe, baby.
Everybody loves this guy. He gets a lot of shout outs. So shout out to Smoking Joe. We love you too. I'm going to go down there, see what the hell's going on at Vision Smoke Shop.
All you guys, man.
we'll be seeing Kevin Green February 15th. Check him out at the Seedless Convention. Again, not Seedless Convention. The Americans for Safe Access Seedless 215 party. This has been Nug Life Radio, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. KNSJ 89.1 FM. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Peace.
Oh, yeah.
I see